Today, we are going to learn about corporate social responsibility. What is corporate social responsibility? Corporate social responsibility, that is CSR, is not a new concept in India. However, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs has recently notified Section 135 of the Companies Act 2013 along with Companies Corporate Social Responsibility Policy Rules 2014 and other notifications which makes it mandatory from 1st April 2014 for certain companies who fulfill the criteria as mentioned under Section 135 to comply with the provisions relevant to corporate social responsibility. Now let us see what is a corporation. A corporation is an association of a large group of people, company or companies which are recognized as a single legal entity. Now we will see the meaning of corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility, that is CSR, is self-regulating business model. It aims to contribute to social goals or support voluntary or ethically oriented practices. It makes a company socially responsible and accountable. This accountability is towards itself, its stakeholders, and public in general. By practicing social responsibility, companies can be conscious about economic, social, and environmental aspects of the society. Now let us see some definitions of corporate social responsibility. The first one, it is given by United Nations Industrial Development Organization, that is UNIOD. Corporate social responsibility is a management concept whereby companies integrate social and environmental concerns in their business operations and interactions with their stakeholders. One more definition, that is International Organization for Standardization, that is, it is given by ISO. The responsibility of an organization for the impacts of its decisions and activities on society and the environment, resulting in ethical behavior and transparency, which contributes to sustainable development, including the health and well-being of society, takes into account the expectations of stakeholders, complies with current laws, and is consistent with international state standards of behavior and is integrated throughout the organization and implemented in its relations. Now we come to the scope of corporate social responsibility. What is the scope of corporate social responsibility? Corporate social responsibility, that is CSR, is self-regulating business model that aims to contribute to social goals or supports voluntary or ethically oriented practices. It makes a company socially responsible and accountable. The scope of CSR can be understood as follows. The first point, applicability of CSR. The companies having network of 1,500 crores or more or turnover of 1,000 crores or more or network, that is net profit of IS crores or more during any financial year shall be required to constitute a corporate social responsibility committee of the board with effect from 1st April 2014. The board's report shall disclose the compositions of the CSR committee. All companies shall spend in every financial year at least 2% of the average net profits of the company made during the 3 immediately preceding financial years in pursuance of its CSR policy. The companies shall be required to incorporate in its board's report an annual report on CSR containing the following particulars. A brief outline of the company's CSR policy, including overview of projects or programs proposed to be undertaken and a reference to the web link to the CSR policy and projects or programs. The B part, the composition of the CSR committee. The next C, average net profit of the company from last 3 financial years. The next D, prescribed CSR expenditure. E, details of money spent on CSR during the financial year. And F, in case the company has failed to spend the 2% of the average net profit of the last 3 financial years, reasons thereof are given. Now we come to the second point, that is CSR Committee. The CSR Committee will consist of 4 directors who shall meet at least twice in a year to discuss and review the CSR activities and policy. The CSR Committee will recommend a formal CSR policy and particular CSR activities, prepares a budget, describes how the company will implement the project, and establish a transparent means to monitor progress. Now let us see the third point, that is CSR activities. The policy recognizes that CSR is a commitment to support initiatives that measurably improve the lives of underprivileged by one or more of the following focus areas as notified under Section 135 of the Companies Act 2013 and Companies, that is Corporate Social Responsibility Policy Rules 2014. Eradicating hunger, poverty and malnutrition, promoting preventive health care and sanitation, making available safe drinking water. Further, promoting education, including special education and employment, enhancing vocational skills, especially among children, women, elderly and the differently abled, and livelihood enhancement projects. Further, reducing child mortality and improving maternal health by providing good hospital facilities and low-cost medicines. It also ensures environmental sustainability, ecological balance, protection of flora and fauna, animal welfare, agroforestry, conservation of natural resources, and maintaining quality of soil, air, and water. Then it also enhances employment vocational skills. Measures for the benefit of armed forces, war windows, and their dependents. Training to promote rural supports, nationally recognized sports. Contribution to the PM's National Relief Fund, that is Prime Minister's National Relief Fund, or any other fund set up by the central government for socio-economic development and relief and welfare of the scheduled castes, the scheduled tribes, other backward classes, minorities, and women. Rural development projects and slum area development. The next point, fourth one, allocation of funds. The company would spend not less than 2% of the average net profits of the company made during the 3 immediately preceding financial years. The surplus arising out of the CSR activity will not be a part of business profits. The company may build CSR capacities of its personnel and those of its implementing agencies through institutions with established track records of at least 3 financial years. The last point, fifth one, non-compliance of CSR activities. There is no specific penal provision for non-compliance under Section 135 of the Act. However, non-disclosure or absence of the details about the CSR policy, that is, corporate social responsibility policy, and its implementation in the board's report would attract penalties. Penalties for non-complying the duty of CSR, that is, corporate social responsibility, would attract a fine of not less than 50,000, which may extend to 25 lakhs, and every officer of the company in default shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years, or with fine which shall not be less than 50,000, which may extend to 5 lakhs, or with more. Hope you all have understood what is corporate social responsibility, what is corporation, the meaning of corporate social responsibility, the definitions, and the scope of corporate social responsibility.